Were you a daddy's girl?
Oh my goodness. My mom would say like, I would be like, stop being mean to my dad. Right.
It happens. Like I'm watching it happen at my house right now. My daughter's a daddy's girl and my son is a mama's boy. And it's just crazy, that whole psychology of it developing. My daughter wants my attention, and she's like, I'm going to get your attention, daddy. She's always the one that says, I love you, daddy. My son is not going to do that as much. And so it's a really cool dynamic. I'm really touched by your story that you are leading. You're the patriarch or the matriarch of the family now by leading your father's legacy. And that's really, really cool. And a lot of people wouldn't feel that they could do that. And a lot of people would be intimidated by that. And the fact that you're doing it and then you're expanding on top of that speaks to your character. Yeah. I wanted to take a little bit of a dive. You said earlier you were an airline stewardess. And so that's a completely different world, you know? So what was that, like a traveling bug that got you up in there, or what drew you to that whole
I
industry?
love to travel. And when I graduated college, I was like, I had like 2 degrees, 2 minors, had no idea what I wanted to do. And I got accepted for, I don't know if you've heard of Teach for America, but it's like a program where they get all sorts of different majors to go teach in inner city schools because they want you to go become a political advocate for the students. And so I was like, I want to do this. And I did like a week of teaching and I was like, nope, not for me. Like, I love kids, but I don't want to do these lesson plans and, deal with all the politics in school. No, thank you. Right. So I was like, I don't know what I want to do, but I like to travel. I had a couple other friends who were flight attendants at the time. And I applied and got the job and was a flight attendant in DC for 2 years and in Phoenix for another 2 years. And it was a lot of fun, but you don't get paid well at all. You're basically
how much do you make?
Here's the thing. They'll tell you like you're starting at like 30 an hour or something, which you are, but that's only for fly time. So boarding, deplaning, and that whole time you've got to be there before and after, you're getting paid like $2 to $4 an hour for that. So it averages out to like minimum wage, like 10 to 15 bucks an hour. And you're gone for 3-4 days chunks at a time. And they're calling you to say, hey, be at the airport in 2 hours. So you can't have like a life, a schedule, anything like that. And worse, I felt like I was literally losing brain cells. I was like, I'm not having stimulating conversations with anyone. I would go to the library and get stacks of books because I'm like, I need to be reading something. I've got to feed my brain somehow. That was hard for me.
And one thing that people don't know is that's a really tough job to get. Like it's a tough, thankless job. Like I know a lot of people who have tried to get that job and they have not been able to get that job. So there's a lot of applicants. Yeah. It's hard to get it. And then once you get it, you may not want it.
Yes. I think it's really fun if you're like retired or don't have kids, right? And it's like a good like young job or a good older job, like because you do get to travel and that's fun. And once you're in that city, depending on how long your layover is, you get to go like explore. And it did create a lot of independence in me. Like I got comfortable walking around downtown St. Louis by myself, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I think that was fun. But other than that, not for me.